I chose to do story jumpers for one of my new technologies because this is a way for students to be able to publish their own stories so they won't be forgotten. This year I had a student who likes to write stories and share them with the class, and so I am going to introduce her to Story Jumper so that she can publish her stories and create images or illustrations that go along with them. So I've already signed up, and I am going to log in using my Google account, and I'm going to use my Fort Hays account. I have a couple of stories already up here because one of these stories is one that is a stock story that I just made for my son for Christmas, and then I have a sample one there. And I'm going to create a book using the story that my student wrote earlier this year. You have a couple of different options while you are creating your book, and you can choose from the templates that are available, or you can start with a blank template. Once your blank template is loaded, you can start with your front cover, and you choose a color for the background. In the past, when I've used this with students, I have gone with a black cover, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing. And then you can choose a picture from the book to be your cover picture. So I'm just going to choose one from, we'll say, page 4. And once I have that picture there, it will become part of my cover. And the title of this story is A Puppy for My Birthday. And the author is one of my students. Sorry. And I'm just going to put her first name, not her last. So you can also change the font style if you want by highlighting it and choosing the font that you want to use. I'm going to use a kind of a childlike one for this one. I'm going to use Chewy. And then if you want to make the font larger, you can do so there as well. And you can bold, highlight, and change the color of the text even. So I'm going to just stay with white to keep it simple. And then I'm going to go to the dedication page. And she's going to dedicate this, just for the sake of this tutorial, to her parents. For my parents who made my dreams come true when they got me a puppy for my birthday. And then I'm going to go to the first page, which is page 2. So this will be the first page where we can add scenes, props, photos. If students have created their own original artwork, you can upload photos, and I'm just going to use the props and scenes that are available within the Story Jumper. So the scene that I'm going to choose is I'm going to go with a house. So there are some pictures of houses here for me to choose from. And I'm going to choose this first house, and that's an outside house. So once that's in there, I can add picture or props. I'm going to add a little girl, and I want people, and you just pick the little girl. She would pick whichever one she wants that she thinks represents herself, and so she might choose one of the princessy ones because she's kind of a girly girl. So I'm going to go with that one, and I'm just going to add that little girl in the front of her house. And over here, I'm going to put a text box for her text. I'm going to use a big text box. So the first part of her story is, once upon a time, there was a little girl, and she wanted a puppy. And that's the first page. So I might even add some text or some thought bubbles, and Oops, not what I meant to do. And I'm going to come over here to the props so that I can add a thought bubble. So I've got a thought bubble here, and I'm going to add that to my picture. And inside of that thought bubble, I'm going to put a puppy. Animals. And I want to just choose one of the puppies. So I have that one. I'm going to add this, and I'm going to make it tiny. And I'm going to stick it inside of her thought bubble. And now I'm going to go on to the next page, and for this page I'm going to add a picture. Her next page of text is going to be about what the dog looks like. She said it had to be fluffy, tiny, and cute. So on this page I'm just going to create a scene, and I want I'm going to have a country scene here, and I'm going to add the prop of puppy, animals, and any of these animals that are fluffy, tiny, and cute. Puppy. Nope, that just keeps going back there. So I'm going to go back to animals, and we have all of these dogs, so I'm going to add just a couple of different dog choices here, and I'm going to add that one from her thought bubble. So I've got some dog choices, and I'm just going to put them in to my scene, and I'm going to move them around. I'm going to make some of them big. If you want to flip some of them around, you can flip the picture by doing that. Make this one up here, and here's going to be the tiny fluffy one, and this dog here. Alright, so now we've got some pictures of some dogs, and we can see that there is in this one a fluffy, tiny, and cute one. And now this image from page 4 is going to become my cover picture. And you just continue to add your props and scenes and text until the story is complete. And once you have that completed, you will have a total of 16 pages and the back cover as well. So the back cover just has the Story Jumper logo on it, and you can change the color of that if needed. So now I'm going to save and exit this. So that story is there, and now I can look at it and read the story. I like how the pages kind of flip almost realistically. And then we're to my blank pages. So I'm going to go to Home, where we'll be able to see a copy of that book. And this is a free way for students to publish their stories digitally. And because there's no cost to use Story Jumper at school or at home, creating, sharing, and reading books online on Story Jumper is free. There are other publishing options that are listed below that do cost money. Students can buy a hardcover book for $24.95 up to 20 pages, and they also have a paperback version of the book for $12.95 up to 16 pages. There's a digital book download for $2.95, or they can print a black and white version of their story one time for free. And there are other options as well to share the story. So I'm going to go back to Home so I can show how that is shared. So if I wanted to share the story with someone, I would just click on Share, and then you can share with the public by making it by clicking on Make Public, so anyone in the world can enjoy your story. Or you can get links to copy and paste to share with family and friends, or to embed like in a website so it could be published digitally on your school website. And by doing these Story Jumper stories, students are able to publish or present content that customizes the message and medium for their intended audience, which aligns with ISTE Standard 6D. And the teacher is also creating learning opportunities, challenge students to use a design process. So this is how to use Story Jumper, and I hope that you will find it useful in your classrooms. This can be used for all grade levels, and if students are creating their own original artwork, that can make this even more personalized for students.